Welcome back. The next story is about Moses Lake resident Ellie Webb, who's getting an early start to gardening season at the Moses Lake Community Garden. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Ellie Webb is busy these spring days sprouting and nurturing heirloom tomato plants and a variety of other vegetables in the greenhouse at the Moses Lake Community Garden. Outside in her garden plot, she's already well ahead of the gardening curve with unusual varieties maturing, even purple spinach. She's known as perhaps the most knowledgeable gardener when it comes to growing organic and heirloom vegetables at the community garden. Heirloom seeds have been handed down from generations and are non-hybrid and naturally pollinated without human intervention. Ellie describes heirlooms as plant history dating back to our U.S. forefathers such as Thomas Jefferson. Ellie says her passion for gardening has grown with her garden plots.
I wanted to have bigger crops, and started, growing for my family, and it got bigger, and my interest got bigger in terms of growing heirloom varieties, and I needed more space for all of that. So I took the two, and I've been gardening. I've been on both sides. There's a new side over there, and this is the oldest site right here. We even had a site which is now a parking lot over there where I had one.
Ellie started with a single plot 8 years ago after the community garden program was founded. Since then, she's gardened several different plots. The Moses Lake Community Garden has grown to 66 plots, many of them still available to gardeners. Ellie said there's more to the community garden than growing plants.
For me, I became ill about 15 years ago, and a lot of my inclination was to become a lot more sedentary. And to fight that off, I started gardening. Because you can't just leave it for 5 days while you're down. You just have to show up, or they die. And then all that work beforehand goes down the tube. So that was part of it. And I had done it before, and I loved it. And when I started gardening, I made friends, and we started looking out for each other. So if I did have a really down day, they got me through it.
Ellie says she also grows flowers that attract beneficial insects that kill plant-eating bugs. Ellie says the community garden is ideal for apartment dwellers or those renting homes without gardens. She holds high praise for the city's community garden program.
It's just been a wonderful experience. I have two really good friends now that I met here, and we take care of each other's plots when things happen, and we trade seeds, and last year we shared crops, so everybody wasn't growing the same thing in their plots.
Call Susan Schriso, who oversees the program for the City Parks and Recreation Department. She can be contacted at 509-764-3810 to sign up. Fees range from $5 for the smallest plots to $25 for the largest. Garden tools, water, and access to the greenhouse come with the fees. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
And rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about plans to paint the Vantage Bridge that spans across the Columbia River. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
The Vantage Bridge will receive a fresh coat of paint beginning this summer, and work is expected to slow down traffic at times. Wenatchee-based State Department of Transportation project engineer Josh Patrick said traffic will be reduced to one lane at times so the rusting bridge can be painted. The state awarded a painting contract to a Jordan, Minnesota company with a low bid of $6.7 million. Vantage Bridge on I-90 connects Grant and Kittitas counties over the Columbia River. Patrick said the project is scheduled for 190 working days, or about 10 months over 2 construction seasons. Completion is expected in fall 2016. The majority of the painting is beneath the bridge, with about a third of it above, according to Patrick. The DOT's website states that the 52-year-old half-mile-long bridge carries an average of 14,000 vehicles per day, 26% of which are commercial trucks. Most of the Vantage Bridge was last painted in 1984. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFIBER 1 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.